What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream. Great to see a bunch of you here already. Daz Dark, Happy Life, Kiko Dantes. I've not moved my microphone. Damn it, I thought I was so well prepared. There we go. That should sound a bit better, hopefully. Although it's not twisting as much now. I see why. Hopefully you guys can all hear me though. Hopefully everything's good. Let me know if everything is sounding good on the microphone. Let's see who we can shout out before we get straight into the stream. We've got Daz Dark, Happy Life, Kiko Dantes, Adam Owens. We've got Thomas McCarthy. We've got Real DMC. We've got Sanaif Naga. We've got Florence Sandu. We've got Tommy Plays. Oh, we've got a whole load of people in. David Knight, Fire Tog, Tommy Plays. Wow, we're popping off already. How is everyone? Hopefully you've had a good turn of the year, a good New Year's Eve and day, and hopefully everything has gone to plan so far this year for you. We're not too far in, so hopefully everything is going well. I am drinking, of course. How dare I not go this far into the stream without actually speaking about it. I'm going to make myself a Cosmopolitan because I got it for Christmas, so why not? Of course, the essential ingredient is the Smirnoff. So yeah, we're going to make ourselves a little cocktail and drink it from a funky ass glass. Oh, it says filled with ice. I don't have ice. Damn it, I didn't plan far enough ahead. Anyway guys, how did everybody do in this double game week? This underwhelming double game week where I've wasted my triple captain chip for the second year in a row. I used it on Aguero last year and that didn't work out for me. And then I've used it on Harry Kane this year and he didn't even play in one of the games, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'm really good at using my chips. Says no player ever. It's pure luck, isn't it, if you use your chip correctly or not. But hopefully someone used it correctly. I wish I'd put it on Son. Or just kept it. Because Son would have been the best choice for me. I see why they make you put ice in it. Because without ice, it's a bit underwhelming as far as how much content you actually get. Which might mean it's really strong. Might mean I'm about to poison myself. But anyway, that is what I'm going to be drinking. It looks amazing. Not really. With this funky ass straw. Anyway, let's actually get into the meat and bones of this, because you guys are probably fed up of me talking about this drink that probably isn't even going to taste that good. But if we have a quick look at my side and the points I got, just so we can cover that and get it out the way early on in the stream, I managed to get 52 points in total. With triple captain played, the average was 45, so I am above the average. We actually went to 56,762 in the ranking, which I believe is a drop. Yes, actually. Yeah, it's a drop. Sorry. Maths, not always my strong point this late in the evening. We dropped about 6,000 spaces, which isn't ideal. We also got reds in nearly every single mini league, but we did go through in the cup. Got 48 points if you take my minus point hit, and we did manage to beat this guy. He had Arnautovic, he had Sterling, he had Aguero captain, which is better than my captain. However, he had a lot of players not really turn up and perform for him. So we have gone through in the cup. We now are going to be facing this guy, who is 112th in the world. So 112,000th in the world. Was 73rd,000. Has also had a bad double game week. And he got 37 points. And he's got the likes of Alonso, which is a bit scary, and Azpilicueta, De Gea, Otamendi, me, Richarlison, Moy, Grosh, Aguero, Rooney, Firmino, Salah, Xhaka, Robertson, Pickford. So this is one of those teams I'm not sure if I could beat. It's one of those, if I have a good game week, I should beat this team and continue on in the cup. But I'm very proud of my cup history at the moment. I think this is the furthest I've ever got in the cup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds so far. So who knows? Who knows? If I do win this, then you will be sure there will be some content, especially with this Premier League match coming up on the channel at some point. Me enjoying that. That would be nice. That would be a positive to the start of a year that hasn't exactly started off great for me, unfortunately. But enough about that. Let's get on with your questions and let me have a sip of my drink. 33 people watching. Great start to the stream. Thank you so much, guys. Just tastes like Ribena with vodka. Anyway. So, let me just find where we got questions. Hey up, did you get through the cup match? I've answered that, Real MC. I did get through the cup match. Not with a stellar performance, necessarily. But I have managed to go through the cup somehow, which is fantastic. Kiko Dantes thinking of a wild card at the end of the month. What I would say is, if you haven't played it yet, try to keep it until at least February, because then at least you see what transfers have been made in January. That's what I would say. I'll personally probably be keeping it for a double game week, but we shall see. Depends how badly I'm doing or how well I'm doing. Happy New Year, Saint Naga. Hey, Flockers from Florence Sandu. Real MC's drinking Drench. Drench can be quite nice sometimes. Kiko Dantes on the cider. I do like a good cider. Like, me and the missus will probably move down south at some point in our life, just so we can drink proper Somerset cider. Hey David Knight, Fire Talk, how you doing? Tommy plays with 67 points. Annie had the Crystal Palace player, who I can't say the name of, who got 10 points as well. Happy Life says, is it worth a -4 from Son to Sterling? Happy Life, that depends completely on how many Man City players you have. If you don't have much Man City coverage, then I'd say that is worth it. For me, Son was a hope for the double game week, a gamble, and it didn't pay off. Jamal Rice is in the chat. How you doing, Jamal? Hope you're good. Real MC, 53 points with a -8. Got a red arrow, 49k now. Sorry to hear that, mate, but you're still above me, Real MC. Still above the leader of the flock. I feel really mature drinking this, by the way. How many points did I get? Hopefully you just saw how many points I got. I got 48. It was 52, but with a -4. Man like Son, I wish I'd triple captain Son, because then I'd have had a decent game week. But yeah, Harry Kane was a real letdown, especially as it looked like he was gonna play against Swansea, and then he just turned up to be on the bench, which was really annoying. Tommy plays, someone help Arnautovic and Salah, or Sterling and Pogba. I mean, I would ideally have Salah and Sterling, but you may not be able to afford that. I think Arnautovic is the most likely to stop scoring, so I would... See, I think Salah and Sterling are necessary for your team at the moment, and then you can take your risks elsewhere in the midfield. 67 points with Son as captain. Nice, Anish. That's a good choice. Yes, Siraj, I got some Smirnoff. It was only a tiny bottle, not much. Disaronno for Fire Talk. I've got some Disaronno as well, but I could actually do Disaronno instead of the beer I've got on the floor next to my foot. Real DMC, who doesn't have ice? And I actually have like a plasticky one, which is really easy to get the ice cubes out, but my freezer's tiny, and well, actually I have another freezer, but I don't have ice. I wish. If I do move, and by the way, there's a possibility I'll be moving at the end of this month. Possibility I won't have a place to stay at the end of this month, so I might end up at my parents'. But if I move, then there might be more ice involved on the stream. Sounds a bit kinky, to be fair. 55 points for Thomas McCarthy. That's not bad, Thomas. Anish Fakar, 67 points with Son captain, and Ali with my only double game week players. Mate, loading up on double game week players didn't do many people many favours. Arnautovic didn't play in the second game. I was livid. No Kane for me during double game week, keeping true to my word. I got 74 with Dele Alli as captain. Mate, Harry Kane did no one any favours that had him. He kind of teased us with good performances before the double game week and then just blanked, didn't he? Last time you streamed during a cup game, we lost to Bristol. Please don't jinx it. What cup games are actually on tonight? I know I'm meant to be like the know-it-all of all this stuff, but I don't actually know what game is on tonight. I'm not doing this on purpose, Siraj, I promise. So yeah, at the moment we got Liverpool and Everton. I'm not sure I want to spoil that if people don't know the score. And we've got Man United and Derby as well. So hopefully that goes all right for you, Siraj. Thomas McCarthy, I used the triple captainship, so that was a waste. Daz Dark with only 35 points. Sorry to hear it, man. Alan Arjadinovic, is my team good? Pope, Otamendi, me, Alonso, Lingard, Salah, Mahrez, Sterling, Gross, Aguero, Kane. I like that team a lot, to be fair. Fire Tog has dropped to 11k with a 52-point return. Mate, I got 52 points and then a -4, and I had a triple captain in play. I'm livid. Tommy Plays uses wildcard instead. Oh, ouch. Siraj has exams until Monday, from Monday till the 27th, exam period time. I wish you all the best, Siraj, in your exams. Hopefully everything goes the way you want it to, and you get some good grades, and you can come back on and we can call you Dr. Siraj. Jan Ivor Jacobson with 5 green arrows in a row. Good to hear it, my friend. Michael Foley looking to bring in Rojo and Shaw. Are they bad moves? To be honest, Man United defenders aren't generally a bad move, purely because they look like a team that, like Mourinho always tries to be defensively solid. Luke Shaw at 4.9 is a very cheap way into a Man United defence, and as far as I'm aware, he's played consistently in the last 3 games with 2 6-point returns, which isn't bad for a £4.9 million defender. Rojo is 5.4, slightly more expensive. He hasn't featured as regularly as Shaw. So, I mean, Shaw, I could understand why you're looking at Shaw. I don't really understand why you're looking at Rojo yet. But Shaw is a very cheap way into a side if he keeps playing. So that could be a good move for you. Jamal Rice's team is built around Kane. The issue is, like, when Kane doesn't perform, we need the Salahs and the Sterlings to really turn up. And Salah wasn't playing, and Sterling did okay, but I took out De Bruyne for Son, and I believe De Bruyne just outscored Son with less game time, if I'm correct. Yeah, De Bruyne got, if we go to round score, De Bruyne got 12, Son got 12, so they got the same points, but it really wasn't a transfer I needed to make. I mean, Arnautovic was the man that came in thanks to that transfer, and Arnautovic didn't do great, and I got rid of Tom Carroll actually, and I'm assuming Tom Carroll did nothing. In fact, my midfield probably looks a lot stronger now, generally, but I'm tempted to get Arnautovic out for the cheapest midfielder I think is going to do well for the rest of the season, so I can then upgrade Son to maybe De Bruyne again, maybe Sanchez, but then I'd have to be downgrading a lot. Abraham looks like I really still want to downgrade Abraham. My defence, you know what, they all play. Although I don't think Kenny played actually. Yeah, Kenny didn't play, which is a bad omen. It might be worth getting off the Kenny train, because I think when I bought him, he wasn't 4.5, so I may have made some profit there. Yeah. The funny thing is, I've never been happy with my team this entire season, but my rank's still not awful. Ismail Mayer, I got 70 points. I really need your help. Arsenal have good fixtures. I'm thinking Hazard for Sanchez and Mahrez for Özil. I would definitely go with Sanchez. The only issue is if Sanchez does move to City, then you may have to... that may force your hand on a transfer. Mahrez for Özil. I still like Mahrez. I know I keep saying I don't think he's going to keep up this return. And his underlying stats in the last game weren't great. But he's still got 1 assist and 1 goal. And that, in this game week, that would have been huge if I'd had that. Arnautovic and Salah. I like Salah still. I'm not considering selling Salah. Arnautovic looked good for the double game week, but I'm not sure he's a season keeper. Chivas, again, I think Salah will be back for the next Premier League fixture, so I'm keeping him for now. Jan, either Jacobson is using his wild card, too many injuries on his team. Siraj is upset because everyone's drinking and he's studying. That's the life of a student, although when I was a student I did a lot of drinking, to be fair. To be honest, yesterday what happened is basically my family are friends with another family and their son has gone to university and he's studying a course that I studied, history and criminology. And so he was having some issues with his coursework or his essay or whatever he's handing in, his study. And so he came round to see if I could help him out at all. He was using some next level software that I'd never heard of. I've never used in my job. My job uses Excel, that's it. My job uses Excel, nothing extravagant. He was using some next level software with data that you imported from sources, and I had to collect my own data. Like, when I did the same course, I had to go and get my own data. I couldn't just collect it from a source. Like, there wasn't somewhere I downloaded it from. So, it's so different now. And, like, while I understood parts of it still, it was 10 years ago. Like, when he first opened up his laptop, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But eventually, once all the software got out of the way and I could just look at the data, I don't think I helped him out loads because I just couldn't understand the software. Sorry, there's a random rant out the way about new software that I doubt he'll ever use in his job, when he gets a job. The Chrissy95, how you doing? Ricarlison and Arnautovic out? Potentially. Desiree Chirija in the house. Sorry, just to go back to Chrissy95, I think Arnautovic likely, because I thought Arnautovic was nailed on to lead the line, and then Moyes has changed that. Ricarlison, I think, is still not too bad to have in your side. If you really think he's not going to do well for the rest of the season, you might as well take your profit and run and try and build your team elsewhere. Ismail Mayer, Aguero for Kane. I mean, the issue I have, and I have considered this multiple times, and we'll do it now because often this is quite popular when I do this, when I compare two players against each other. If we compare Aguero and Harry Kane for the last 6 game weeks, Aguero actually wins, but only just on the whole stat summary. He got 51% victory over 49%. However, in the key areas, Kane wins 8-2. So goals-wise, Kane has scored 6, but that's 2 hat-tricks in 2 games. And then very quiet elsewise. And then Aguero is 4 goals. Assists-wise, Aguero has an assist, Kane doesn't. If we actually have a look at goal involvement, Aguero is only involved in 38% of goals that Man City score. Kane is involved in 46 when he's on the pitch. If we have a look at minutes per goal, Kane wins 78.7 minutes per goal. And then Aguero is at 118 minutes per goal, but again, that is skewed massively by those 2 hat-tricks. Attempts on goal, Kane wins with 37 attempts to 29. However, attempts inside the box, Aguero wins 25 to 23. Then you've got shots on target, Kane wins 15 to 11. Big chances in total, they've had the same amount of big chances, 7 each. Big chances scored, Harry Kane scored 5 of his big chances, whereas Aguero's only scored 3 of his big chances. We got minutes per attempt, 12.8 minutes per attempt from Kane, 16.3 per attempt from Aguero. Sorry, mind just went away there. Shot accuracy, Kane is winning 40.5% to 37.9. Goal conversion, Kane is also winning 16.2 to 13.8. And then as far as assists go, minutes per chance created, Kane has actually created a chance every 59 minutes compared to Aguero's 118. However, big chances created, Aguero is winning 2 to 1. And of course, he's made more assists. However, chances created in general, Kane's created more as well as more through balls. That is all well and good. However, if you go and take the team's goal threat, Man City have had 112 attempts to Tottenham's 109. As far as shots inside, Man City have had 69 shots inside to Tottenham 62. Big chances is where it really makes a difference, because Man City have had 22 big chances compared to Tottenham's 13. Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool have all had more big chances than Spurs. Leicester only 1 more big chance, but West Ham have had 18 big chances. Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool 18, 22 and 23 big chances. So, and shots on target, Man City 43, Tottenham 36. So while Kane's stats are better, Man City's attacking stats are better. So goal involvement is hard to rate purely because there's a bigger set of data for Man City for Aguero to get involved in than there is for Kane to get involved in at Spurs. Also, shot accuracy, Man City are top, as well as Man City are above Spurs as far as goal conversion. So you've got to ask yourself, is the cover you have of Manchester City enough to not need Aguero? If it is, then Harry Kane is probably the right choice. And then Aguero is probably the right choice if you think that Man City are just going to, because of the run of fixtures, going to have so many opportunities that Aguero is going to score more. TP is back in the chat. How you doing, TP? TP, I triple captain Kane as well, so rip me as well. We make mistakes. We're not I cannot think of a blimmin' saying. We're not infallible. That would do. I'm actually going to drink beer for a straw. This might go horribly wrong, but this is the glass I've got. So this is what we're going to deal with. Jamal Rice, I'm thinking about Aguero, but I don't think I'll take Kane out. It's whether I think to go against the grain and not beef up my midfield, because that's what everyone's done. False 9, 60 points with a -8 hit. Captain Aguero wasn't a bad differential. No clean sheets though. Feel like my defence needs a shuffle. To be honest, it was a bad game week in general for defence, for attack, for a lot of places. Ismail Mayet is apparently going Sanchez triple captain. Is that for the next game? Let's have a look-see. Next game for Arsenal is Bournemouth. You know, Bournemouth concede goals. I'm not sure. Do you think he's trying to impress Pep? Get that transfer through. Joe Morgan, any thoughts on what price? On what price who? Oh, Senk Tossen. I don't know enough about him. What may come back now, especially as we've got a period of FA Cup fixtures, is we might get back FPL player analysis, where I look at players coming into the league or players moving clubs and try and decide if they're going to be good transfers to bring in. You can go back and check my videos during pre-season. I did look at players like Mohamed Salah. I did look at players that you shouldn't get in, but Mohamed Salah is the one I remember thinking at the time that, yeah, he might be worth it. I need to put this beer somewhere that won't spill. And, I mean, Mohamed Salah is definitely right. But generally, I don't like going for players that are new to a club. Just, that's my general rule until I've broken it. For Salah, I broke it because I thought he'd be better value than Mane. And I broke it also for Ibrahimovic last season. I've heard Barkley's also moving to Chelsea. Real MC, what are City going to do now with one striker? Aguero can't play every match. Until the Champions League comes back, I imagine he'll play every Premier League game, though. Paul Geedy had a triple captain disaster, but still got 60 points. Well done. Nearly at the top 500,000. Not bad for a newbie. I'm glad to hear it, man. Trust me. Once you start, I think it does help when you do well to keep you interested in the game. But once you get hooked on this game, you get hooked. Jan-Iver Jacobson, my team as we speak. De Gea, Alonso, Otamendi, Shaw, Salah, MacArthur, Sterling, Mahrez, Kane, Aguero, Kelly. I like the team apart from the bench. I don't know if you could make it much stronger though to keep that team. I also feel like Salah should be in there somewhere. I know that might be really difficult to actually manage, but while I find my place in the chat because I've dropped to the bottom and can't find my place, I am going to do a cheeky little plug just while I quickly find where I am. If you guys didn't know, I have restarted uploading on my other channel, and it is Football Manager. I know it's not going to be all your cup of tea, but if you do want to support me on YouTube and Football Manager is something you might be interested in if I was playing with it, just check this out while I try and find where I'm in the chat because I'm completely lost. Okay, so I found where I am. Hopefully it doesn't move right now because that would be really awkward. But we have Florence Sandu saying at Real DMC, Aguero can play a game a week until February. I agree. I definitely believe Aguero will be prioritised for Premier League games now that Jesus is out. Champions League, if Jesus isn't back by the point that Champions League comes back into play, then that is definitely where it could start to get a bit tricky. But yeah, I definitely think Aguero should be pretty safe for Premier League games, which is what we're worried about. Daz Dark, I think Carrillo has now found his place at Watford, thinking it'll be worth picking up in place of Aaron Boy. Potentially, I've kind of gone off Watford. As far as an attacking threat goes, Watford aren't looking that great anymore. If we look at attempts on goal in the last 6 game weeks, they've had 59 attempts. That's the 4th worst in the Premier League. From inside, they are around mid-table, 44 attempts on goal. Big chances, again, around mid-table with 10. As far as shots on target, they are 2nd worst in the league with only 15 shots on target, which means their shot accuracy is worse in the league at 25.4%, and their goal conversion is around mid-table at 10.2. So I'm really not liking Watford as an attacking source of points at the moment. I know I still have Richarlison, but just having a look at Watford's stats don't fill me with much hope. Florin Sandu, I'm thinking Stones for Otamendi. I need as many differentials as possible. See, we could disagree on this, Florin, but I personally think there is a great need to find differentials. And to really hit the highest heights, you may need to go for differentials. But changing Otamendi to Stones doesn't feel like a differential to me. Because right now, Otamendi is a Man City defender, as is Stones, of course. Otamendi scores goals every now and again. Now, Stones would have to score more goals to be a differential, because they're going to get the same clean sheets. Then you're looking at bonus points. Is one going to be more of a bonus point magnet than the other? So I don't see how Stones is a differential unless Stones, because he's cheaper, lets you have a stronger team elsewhere, and that point difference will make up for the points that Stones may or may not lose to Otamendi. Because we don't know. Right now, I could not tell you confidently who's going to get more points for the rest of the season, Stones or Otamendi. But if I had to put my money on it, it'd be Otamendi. But Stones is cheap enough that that could be offset by the price difference. Tommy Plays says get Shaw or Lindelof. I mean, Shaw is looking a very promising way into that Man United side. I'm tempted to drop Jones for Shaw, just because that would give me a little bit of cash to play with. Siraj definitely has a good point, though, there. If Young returns and Young goes straight into the team, or who knows, Jose might pick up a left-back. Daz Dark looking to pick up Obiang. West Ham got a good line of matches coming up. That's why I'm really annoyed about Arnautovic. I might go straight to Lanzini. It is nice to have a West Ham player in my side. I do miss the days when I had Payet. Not that I miss Payet now. Florin's keeping Hazard. Desiree Charija got 56 points, but thinking of getting Ali for Son, because after Christmas, Ali is always hot. I hope he's still talking about FPL. Siraj recommends Smalling for every start in every Premier League game for Man United. Almost said the wrong Man United then, or the wrong Manchester team then. I transferred out over the last two games Morata, Lukaku, Ricardo, Cedric in place of Firmino, Kane, Mbemba and Sterling. Is Mbemba playing? Otherwise, I've got no issue with that. But is Mbemba playing again? Because I got rid of Mbemba because he wasn't playing. So if he's playing now, then I've got issues with Rafa. No, he's not playing regularly, but he's dropped to 3.9, which saves you money, doesn't it? Florin, I got both Ali and Son. Nice. You're happy this game week. Connor Mullin, I had Adrian and Masaka as well as Son. Should I be happy? Connor, I personally only went with a West Ham defender because I didn't have money to put another West Ham player in. I don't like West Ham's defence still. I know they didn't do too bad. They only conceded one in each game recently. But I think there's better defensive players out there than the West Ham defenders. Mini Cooper, should I keep Otamendi or get Alonso for a -4 hit? That's a difficult one. I would personally keep Otamendi, but I would like Otamendi and Alonso in the same side, but that is going to be expensive now, where Otamendi used to not be that expensive. So the reason you might be able to get Alonso is because Otamendi is being sold. Alonso is more likely to score more goals, but I feel like, are Man City more likely to get more clean sheets? I'm not actually sure about that. Because Man City and Chelsea, shots conceded 41 and 42. Shots on target conceded 12. So they're very, very similar. Very similar. So I'd probably say Alonso's worth it. But it's just, I'm not sure I could bring myself to play Alonso because he does cost so much. And when I did and he wasn't returning, that was just 7 million sitting there not actually scoring me any points. Gunners for Glory Ohen. My midfield is as follows. Salah, Sterling, Wilshere, Son, Lingard. What do you think? Lingard, I like. Sterling, Salah, I like. Son is good, but potentially there's better out there. Wilshere, if he keeps playing, that's a very cheap way into the Arsenal midfield. So it's a decent shout, but I'm not 100% sure how that would turn out for you. Tommy Tommy plays his team. Adrian, Shaw, Yoshida, me, Ericsson, Pogba, Sterling and Mahrez. Kane and Firmino. I like that. Not sure about Ericsson, but I like Pogba, Sterling, Mahrez. I know Salah might be too expensive now, but Salah in place of Ericsson, and I'd really like him midfield. Siraj going to sell Otter for Stones. Cheap option gives me 0.6 million. Florence Sander agrees with Siraj. Desiree Charija, keep Otter. See, that's the thing. I cannot sit here and confidently tell you which one of Otamendi and Stones will get more points. If that is the case, Stones is probably the better choice, purely because money-wise you're saving a significant amount. The false nine regrets selling Salah. I think a lot of people are going to regret selling him. I think a lot of people sold him because of his injury. And I was just like, you know what? I'm likely to want to bring him back in, so I'm not going to risk it. TP says he went to a pantomime and all the characters on stage were less of a joke than Pellegrino. The thing is, Claude Puel, he's now at Leicester, probably looking at that side going, thank God I left, you know. They didn't respect me. I actually don't even remember if Puel was doing a good job or not. But he can't have been doing a worse job than Pellegrino's doing. TP, who should I replace Austin with? It depends who your other strikers are. If you've got two decent strikers anyway, going cheap as possible is probably a good route, but if we look at all the strikers in Charlie Austin's price range, which if memory serves me right, it's around 6.4, isn't it? 6 million. So yeah. Depoitre looks like he's going to continue to be the leading man for Huddersfield. Oh, 8 minutes 20. I wouldn't go there. Calvert-Lewin, again, don't like that game time. Okazaki, I really want Leicester to just continuously play Okazaki, because I know that's not a great point return there, but he just randomly turns up with great returns, and he's 5.5 million. Diouf, not sure I'd really touch Stoke at the moment. Glenn Murray, I think he's been leading the line quite regularly, although 3 and 10 there. Gray, Hosselu, Rodriguez. There isn't really many options down here, is there? Is Mooney at least playing every game? No. Wow, you've asked a hard question there, haven't you? I seriously think it might be Quainer. Oh, 31 minutes against Leicester. Why do that to me? But I mean, that game time's not bad for the price, and he is only 4.6. I'm so tempted to just go Quainer and save myself $1 million, because Abraham's not done much for me at all. I would potentially say Quainer and then just spend your money somewhere in midfield. Mini Cooper, the player I can't say the name of, is he a good option at 4.6? He's not a bad option. He's going to play regularly. He's going to turn up with points every now and again. He is on penalties, so for that price, you can't go wrong with him. If there is a better option, there's not going to be many better options at that price. TP's team, De Gea, Pope, me, Otamendi, Christensen, Daniels, Mbemba, Sterling, Grosh, Lingard, Salah, Moy, Kane, Firmino and Austin. Yeah, just go for the cheapest player you can find that plays for Austin, because you've got Kane and Firmino, you've got a decent midfield, so... false 9 defences, Otamendi, Gomez, Christensen, Duncan, Cabaselli. You know what? I'm not a fan of Watford players right now. I'm going off of them. I know I've still got Richarlison, but... Jan Arvid Jacobson, don't worry about it, mate. Don't worry about it. That's what's... that's life. I know you're not all going to be here. Fortunately for me, I've got enough of you guys around that when some of you can't make it, there's still a bunch of you that do make it. So it's all good, my friend. Thank you anyway as well for anyone that sent me DMs or tweets over Christmas and New Year's, wishing me a happy Christmas and New Year's. It was much appreciated. Yeah, Paul Giddy, you still got 60 points. You still got green arrow, so that's better than me. I triple captain him and got red arrows. Ilyas Hussein is in the chat. And what the flock is up, J-Rock? Ilyas, I got 52 with a -4, so 48. But I did go for in the cup, so I'm still in the cup. What do I think about Vardy? Should I replace him with Firmino or downgrade? I'd replace him with Firmino unless Vardy's your cheapest striker. Then I might go with someone cheaper, but Firmino has been decent for me. Vardy out for Mahrez. I mean, different positions, so that's probably a 2-transfer move. But Mahrez does seem to be the lesser player to have. Although, I would just like to say, the amount of times I've said Brighton isn't a bad FPL player, and I kind of get laughed at for it. But right now, even if we go unlimited and count every midfielder in the game, he's on the first page for 5.5 million. Only Choupo-Moting and Decore are cheaper with more points. And every time I say it, everyone laughs at me, but he puts good balls into the box. He's got a good cross on him, and he's got 13 points in a game week. He got 8 points 2 game weeks before, 5 points in game week 16, 10 points in game week 13. But no one ever takes me seriously when I say, well, Brighton's decent. Just, I think because his price is just above the 5 million range, people don't consider it, but... Yeah, Ilyas, I failed with that triple captain. That game was painful against West Ham because, one, I wanted West Ham to win, but two, I needed Harry Kane to do something. Yeah, TP, I've uploaded a video today and I called him Dyke. That still sounds rude, but my pronunciation is awful. Thanks, Siraj, for that. Tucson, 8 million. You never know with FPL. They might put him lower. They might put him higher. To be honest, sometimes their pricing just seems a bit bonkers. Ilyas Hussein, to me, Alonso is the player to have in that Chelsea side if you're going to have a Chelsea player. Yeah, Florent Sando, I thought Barkley was moving, so I'm not sure what I think of Barkley going to Chelsea. Who would I take out of that Chelsea side for Barkley? I'm not, in case you didn't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Barkley. Mini Cooper, team is Elliot Pope, Alonso, Lascelles, Ogbonna, Tompkins, Duffy, Mahrez, Lingard, Ericsson, Sterling, Decore, Kane, Firmino, Depoitre. I mean, Tompkins and Duffy and Lascelles. I mean, I don't know if you've got money. Your midfield, Mahrez, Ericsson, Sterling, Kane, Firmino. I feel like you've got some cash. I don't know, though, Mini Cooper. But I feel like you should have some more cash there. And then I'd upgrade my defence a little bit. But I'm not a fan of Duffy. Although I have recommended Duffy before. So I'd say Tompkins is the one I'm not a fan of. Ogbonna I'm not sure about at West Ham. Midfield-wise is fine. Ericsson, I would prefer Salah there, like I've said before. But, yeah. Your team's not bad, though, Mini Cooper. Siraj, I agree. Barkley's going to sit next to Danny Drinkwater. Daz Dark, if Walcott moves, he could be a great shout. He could be awful, though, as well. Like, to me, he's a form player, and when he is in form, he's almost a must-have at times, but you just got to predict when. If a team's built with him in mind, he could be really good, though. Siraj angry at Rashford. Apparently, Rashford's missed an easy chance. Florence Sanders says no player worse than Morata in the last 2 game weeks. I've not seen him play personally. I do have Match of the Day on my computer. I am going to try, no guarantees, I'm going to try and do what we learned. I do have quite a while to film this time, so hopefully it should be up some point this weekend. Karulu, hi, I'm playing my first FPL season. You helped me to reach a top 70k. Trust me, mate, for your first FPL season, that is a great return. Well done, my friend. Okay, apparently your bench is locked in. If they are, then that's a decent bench. Because at the end of the day, the bench is there just to play if your main players don't play, really. Ismail Mayer, please rate my team. Adrian, Alonso, Bellerin, Jones, Shaw, Ericsson, Sanchez, De Bruyne, Silva, Lacazette, Van Dijk, Pogba. I'm counting 1 striker there, so I'm presuming your other 2 strikers are really cheap. I'm not a fan of Lacazette as your main striker, but then again, are there any main strikers out there that are really that great? Ericsson, again, he has returned to form recently, but he did have a real poor dip. You've got 2 Man United defenders. I'm not sure I'd double up necessarily, but Sanchez could be great. But if he goes City, I don't think you've got anything to worry about because you've only got Silva elsewise and De Bruyne. But then that would be 3 Man City midfielders. But it's not bad, Ismail. I just feel like things could go wrong really quickly in that side. But right now, there's nothing wrong with those players. Paul Geedy, I definitely agree. The strikers are failing to stand out. Kane did it for 2 weeks and then just blanked. Dom Stimfig in the chat. How you doing, my friend? It's got Pope, Elliott, Otamendi, Christensen, Duffy, Gomez, Mariappa, Sterling, Salah, Arnautovic, Son, Loftus-Cheek, Aguero, Kane, Wilson. That's a decent midfield to me. I like that. And it gives you Aguero and Kane. So you're pretty much covered for whichever striker out of the few strikers that are performing. If one of them does well, it's probably going to be Aguero or Kane. I mean, Arnautovic potentially, but West Ham have a good run of fixtures. Defence-wise, you know what? There isn't many moves I can think to make there, really. I'd maybe put Wilson down to a really cheap striker, just to then you could like upgrade someone like Loftus-Cheek, or potentially you could upgrade Arnautovic. Opinions on Ross Barkley signing, and is Alonso worth it? Alonso is worth it if you're happy to wait out when he's not scoring, because when he's not scoring, that's a lot of money to have in defence. But now Chelsea are starting to get clean sheets again, it kind of makes up for that. As far as Ross Barkley, I think I have a real issue with how we hype up English players really early in their youth. Like, we'll get a good English player at 17, 18, and we'll consider them world beaters by the time they're 19, 20. And then if you actually look at our record with youngsters, the amount of youngsters we have that kind of die out and kind of become almost insignificant, that were threatening to be world beaters, is quite high compared to other countries. Because I think we throw too much at these youngsters too soon, which affects their growth and affects their maturity as a player. Ross Barkley did, yes, at one point look really, really good. He's not been playing recently. He was dropped because he wasn't always performing and wasn't putting the effort in, because I kind of feel like he felt entitled, like he should be at a bigger club. I feel like because the Premier League is so big and it's so press covered and there's so much money in it, that some of our youngsters get absolutely destroyed way too soon in their career. Ross Barkley's one. Jack Wilshere never really turned into the player everyone was hoping he'd become. Michael Owen, if you actually look at Michael Owen's career, that tail dived very quickly. Considering the heights he reached, I was not expecting his career to drop as quickly as it did. I'm sure there's other players that we probably give too much too soon. So I'm I'm not sure Barkley to Chelsea is a move that is any significance, one, to us FPL managers, but two, if it's actually going to benefit Barkley or Chelsea. Now, don't get me wrong, Sterling has been a transfer that has completely proven me wrong, because he's gone to Man City and he's become the player that we probably were hoping he'd become when he was at Liverpool. And I know Liverpool fans will hate the fact I'm saying that, but Guardiola's done a great job with Sterling. But how often does that really happen at the big clubs? I mean, Harry Kane, if he went to a big club, he'd be fine. But just, I don't see Ross Barkley making a big impact at Chelsea. Dom Stimfig, Aguero to Firmino. As long as you have Harry Kane, and then you're looking to beef up your midfield, otherwise, no. I wouldn't do it, because Aguero's finally become nailed on, pretty much. Shan Ivor Jackson, why not start the new with a fresh wildcard? Because I've got a plan for my fresh wildcard. Leave my wildcard alone. Sigurdsson is just too expensive this FPL, and he's not been performing, but otherwise, that Lookman looks rapid. Lookman's been a player that, when he first came in, FPL managers were hoping he'd do something, but he kind of didn't get the game time necessary. Most nailed on out of the United back four, David De Gea. Eric Bailly, if he's fit. Jones seems to be favoured. Other than that, I mean, Valencia's played every game, hasn't he? Let's have a look-see. Oh no, he's been out for a while. What am I talking about? Alright, Jones. Looks pretty nailed on since he's come back. Smalling. It's been out for free. Bailly's been injured for a significant amount of time. Mate, I don't know. I'd maybe say Jones. I mean, Valencia is their right back when he's fit. It's that simple. But otherwise, I'd say Jones. Gunners for Glory. Arsenal have great fixtures. Should I have an Arsenal player? I'm going to be completely honest with you. If Özil and Sanchez move, then I have no idea what Arsenal player you should go for. If Sanchez moves, I think that also affects Özil's output, even if he does stay. I feel like there isn't an Arsenal player nailed on enough with a secure enough future for me to go for an Arsenal player. TP, Puel is only good at counter-attacking football. Leicester are a pretty good counter-attacking team, though. Ilias Hussain's team, Pope, Speroni, Otamendi, Christensen, Masaku, me, Mariappa, Salah, Sterling, Son, Arnie, Lingard, Kane, Firmino, DCL. Anything I should change? I'd maybe look at Mariappa, but if he's playing, he's cheap enough that it doesn't matter that Watford's defence are poor. Can't really see anything I'd majorly change. I know that's probably not the answer people want. I get that, TP, but is Pellegrino doing any better? Do I play COD? No, but I have recently got PUBG. I'm not good at it, because I'm generally not a person that plays shooters, but I'm hoping now that I've got PUBG and my friends have it, that I should get better at PUBG, and then that might have an effect and get me into some shooting games. Thank you, Mini Cooper. Albrighton is underrated. TP, don't worry, there'll be plenty of humour as far as me in pronouncing names, especially in foreign leagues. What do you think about going with Kane to cheap strikers like DCL and IU or Quainer to invest in midfield? I have expensive defence. Karulu, if you'd done that early on in this season, you'd be really high ranked. It's worked for the people that have done it. None of the strikers, the expensive strikers, has performed well enough to keep up with a lot of the premium price midfielders. So midfield and defence is where the points have been. Florence Sandu thinks Stones will have a bigger goal threat, better BPS, and is cheaper as long as he's fit. That's going to be difficult because Otamendi's goal threat has been decent. I see all Arsenal games. My roomie is a gooner. That's from Siraj. Says Jack Wilshere is a decent midfield shout. I wish I was living in those days when I could watch so many football games. The dream is I could eventually just watch football games for a living, because then I wouldn't miss a game. Understand this, I don't watch as near enough football that I'd like to. When I do have a weekend off, I usually got to do stuff anyway. I've not watched a single game this year yet, and I'm sure a lot of you have watched lots of games this year. I've not watched a single football game this year, not even seen Match of the Day yet, and it's killing me. It's killing me. I'm just looking at stats, because I'm either working or I'm doing videos, and yeah, I want to watch more football, god damn it. I personally think Otamendi is still a good person to keep on. Azpilicueta is good. Will Alonso get more? Possibly. Apparently Lingard scored. Lingard looks like a player we need to be bringing into our sides, to be fair. Gunners of Glory, what do you think of my team? Speroni, Courtois, Shaw, Ogbonna, Alonso, Alex Arnold, Stones, Lingard, Wilshere, Salah, Sterling, Son, Kane, Firmino, McBurney. I would say Courtois isn't necessary. If you're going to have an expensive keeper, if it's not De Gea, there's no point. Wilshere, I'm not sold on yet, to be fair. Otherwise, I don't. Your team's decent, but Jan Arvid Jacobson says Van Dijk looks strong in both defence and offence, predicting him to be the new wine in FPL. Haven't got him yet though. What I will say is, whilst I have questioned Van Dijk's price tag, now he's gone to Liverpool, he may decide to really perform, because I feel like he kind of didn't care anymore at Southampton. Now he's moved to Liverpool, he might really care. Get a shoe. That's true, but like, if I'm doing stuff with the wife, or I can't watch it while I'm at work, I'll get in so much trouble. No, I will not calm down, TP. I want to watch more football. 5 days in, I should have watched at least 3 games. Defender options for 4.5 or less. Let me have a look, see what we can find. Okay, so you're going to struggle because all the good ones have risen above 4.5. Clarvin may not get the game time anymore. Dunk, potentially. Loughton doesn't get the game time anymore, really. To be honest, you probably miss the train unless you notice someone getting into the first team a lot. I mean, Ogbonna is still 4.5 and he plays regularly, but yeah, the problem is you're going to have to find someone. Like, I got Kenny before he was 4.5. Kenny you could look at, but I reckon, I've got a feeling Kenny's going to start to fall out the side. He didn't play last game. Also, Coleman is scheduled to come back at some point. Masaka's also one you can consider, but other than that, I'd say there aren't many options. Ogbonna is one, But yeah, a lot of them have risen above the 4.5 threshold because they're decent 4.5 shouts. Oh, you're going to Slough. I have some colleagues that work in Slough because it's part of my district. Good luck, mate. Arsenal. Tiger Rage, welcome to the chat, my friend. We're going to finish in a second. And Gordon Gilbody coming in as well. I feel bad because I am literally going to finish in a sec. But Pope, Ogbonna, Otamendi, Alonso, Sterling, Son, Arnautovic, Loftus-Cheek, Salah, Firmino, Kane, bench, Elliot, Dunk, Kenny, Calvert-Lewin. Done a transfer, 2.2 in the bank. Was going to get Lingard for cheap. Definitely get Lingard in for cheap. Otherwise, your team isn't bad, my friend. Otamendi and Alonso is a killer pairing in defence. Sterling, Son, and you got Salah. So I can't see anything wrong with that. Siraj says, get Lingard and Mahrez in. And Gordon Gilbody, good evening. And now going to say good night, unfortunately. Quickly look at Paul Giddy's team. His team, which is going to change soon. Fabianski, Otamendi, Jones, Ogbonna, Duffy, Kane, Salah, Sterling, Arnie, Son, Lingard, Kane, Morata. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Elliot, looking to bin Ogbonna, Arnie and Morata soon. I can't blame you for that. I would keep an eye on things, though, because Ogbonna and Arnie, their fixtures are decent. Morata, I think his ownership's dropping, and you've got Kane, so you should be fine with that, though. Mini Cooper, opinions on Rooney. Rooney's a decent shout at his price as a second striker, but I worry that, especially with Tucson coming in, he may not be playing up front. Gordon, I'm sorry, my man. I'm sorry. I mean, still, it's a can, so still enjoy it. It's still a drink. But yeah, I did tweet when I was going on, so apologies, Gordon. I appreciate you may or not have wanted to waste the can. But I'm sure there's something you can... Loki Doki's streaming, by the way, if you want to go and check him out. And you can also go and watch my Football Manager series that I've just started on my other channel, if you wanted to watch that while drinking a beer. There's 2 videos up and they're both over 30 minutes, so that could fill your time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining the stream as always. It's been a pleasure spending the evening with you guys, as it always is. Thank you guys so much for the questions. Thank you guys so much for the support. As always, in the links in the description are various ways you can support the channel. Of course, if you want in the future, you can hit the sponsor button or the super chat button if you want to donate to the channel at any point. The next stream should be Monday. I think Monday night I should be able to stream, purely because I'm working Tuesday, but it's very, very late. Do have stuff to do during the day on Monday though, but hopefully we should be streaming live on Monday. So hopefully I'll see you all guys there. So catch you guys later soon. Sorry, I saw soon and I messed up my... Catch you guys later soon. Mini Cooper, all you got to do is put your team into the chat and I will rate it. I have no problems rating teams in the chat. I just don't like doing it anywhere else because it just takes too long. Whereas if I can just read it and react, it's a lot quicker. I've been JNO. This has been FPL today. You guys have been awesome as always. Thank you so much for being part of the flock. And remember, it's all about the game. And you know what? I'm actually going to close off the stream with this as well, just because. Go and subscribe to my other channel if you're not.